Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome. This is Haraset here, and today I'm going to be having a look at the patch 1.2 for Star Wars The Old Republic. Now in this episode I'm just going to cover some of the initial changes you might see when you log in. I'm actually just going to focus on preferences and the customization of the UI in this one. Generally because I will have to actually level my character up. This is just a standard thing they have as part of the test, and I never got around to leveling a character in the test prior to this, so you know I haven't actually played testing since beta, so this is it. So the first thing we'll jump into here is the preferences, and we'll just go through a couple of changes that have some nice impact. Immediately we will come in and look at the controls, and as you can see here we have this new option called Smart Camera. This is something I've been looking forward to them fixing since the start of the game. Pretty much what this does, as you know, if you turn your camera around, just say to this position, and you move, it immediately brings you back forward. This is pretty straightforward and very annoying for high-end PvP. You don't want that because you want to be able to look behind you at all times. So if I go into preferences and actually disable this, I can move around with my camera facing whatever direction I want it to, and it generally just makes things a lot easier and a lot more fun for me. So that's something to look forward to, and it's coming into 1.2. Just before I kick off with the rest of these, just want to cite this is only the second day of this patch in the test realm, so a lot of these are subject to change, anything I put out there at the moment, as I scroll through these and just have a quick look. Flight text pretty much the same. There's not that much new changes there. Combat logging is new. However, I am not happy with the combat logging. I hope to God they change this. Now, what I've done is I've set up a combat log, so to speak. Pretty much I just created a new window, and I just put in the settings, pretty much combat information. Actually, I can remove this and apply. And what you do see here is the fact that your end ability seems to be the only thing that actually counts. For example, if I hit this guy, now I've done 16, 31 and 44 damage there, and none of it comes up. Yeah, if I hit him again, still doesn't come up. But once I get one with the killing blow, that's it. In other words, you defeated your character for such and such. So it's just to prove it, I'll just use the same button. You defeated him for 15 damage. It's not very good. I don't know why they decided not to leave in or put in the full combat log. I hope they change this. This was something that a lot of people are looking forward to, including myself, just to be able to analyze everything that you do. And I know a lot of people can make some work out of that. Now, there is a parser in the game. I haven't quite gone into it in heavy detail yet. Is you can do is you can enable this combat log file and creates a parser to your hard drive. It actually warns you about this because of the fact that it will eat up space on your hard drive, so you have to manage this manually. Once again, it's not the most ideal, but it's there. How much information it is in it is something I'll research probably later on. Okay, moving on. Sound at the moment, there is this new option for background audio, which is something that is really good because I like to play in Windows mode, and if I'm ever waiting on PvP or some other instance to kick off while I'm browsing, say, the internet or, you know, the channels or YouTube or something like that, I can now put this background audio on, and it'll allow me to let me know as soon as I get into a battleground. It's a great feature and something they should have added earlier, and I'm glad they have put this in now. At the moment in 1.2 or in this test phase, there is quite a lot of bugs with the sound. You probably just hear it there. At the moment, there's no sound to my steps as I'm walking. Now the sound is active, but there you go. There was 1, 2, 3, and it seems to be just a bit bugged. But as such, this is just the opening of testing, and I presume that's going to be fixed. We'll go back in here down to the chat. There is no real changes I did notice. Not something that will be significant enough. User interface, once again, they've added quite a few features to the map. Conversation and general tooltips pretty much are the same, but the map is quite nice. Now, what we have here is we have map flashes red when being attacked. This is something that's a little bit different, so if you're monitoring the map and you end up getting attacked, it'll let you know. The next one there is fade the world side maps completely. Now I just tried this out for the sake of argument, and all it does is pretty much fade the left and right sides of the map, generally where your information is when you are moving. Pretty much doesn't say that in the tooltip, but that's pretty straightforward. So when you are moving, the two sides will disappear, as you can see here. But there is something really nice, and it's allow multiple filters to be enabled simultaneously on the world map. This is something that was really adventurous. So what I can do now is I can actually pick what I want active instead of having to flow through them. This is something that was missing in the initial prior to the patch. It's still missing now until the patch. And to be able to put these all onto the map is really useful, and it's something, once again, they should have done earlier but didn't, but now it's in. We'll continue on. Is there anything else there in the tooltips, detailed tooltips, social center, operation frames, cooldown settings? No, nothing that I can see. Okay, graphics. Pretty much they have added in just one that I can see, which is called character texture atlasing. Now, this is another one of these, you know, developer talk stuff. Pretty much this is a new type of feature that developers have been using to kind of group together textures in a game. And what this does, on a basic term, is pretty much speeds up rendering time. Now, by that I mean, there could be, see this character here running towards me, pretty much atlasing kind of, alright, the character in general will have like probably about 80-90 textures on them, all from different parts, from the hair, nose to the clothing. The atlasing will allow you to kind of merge all of these into one texture. That's pretty much what the function does, to my understanding. If I'm wrong about this, guys, you can let me know. And that allows for a bit of a faster rendering. Now, when you actually lower the atlasing on your options, pretty much it keeps kind of most of the textures as a separate object or separate texture. It can increase just a little bit on the actual graphical quality, but it's very minor. In general, you kind of want to always leave it as high, I'd say, just for the performance difference. If you're running on a low-end machine, on a high-end machine, you probably wouldn't notice that much difference. But it's just a difference in load times and things like that. Okay, moving on. Okay, last, social, not really any changes. Nameplates, nothing really that I can talk about right now, and that's that for the interface. The next thing I will go into is the new feature, one of the main ones that's coming into this patch, and it's the interface editor. Now, this is absolutely amazing. I was really impressed when I first came into this. Because the amount of options it actually does allow you to do. I was surprised. I thought it'd be very simplified. I wasn't expecting the amount of detail that they did put into it. Now, there is a couple of issues that I did find with it, in that there is no snap to option. For example, I'm just going to move this up here, and I'm going to just take over this companion quickbar. This is quickbar 3. So, you know, if I go down, you have the ability to change it around. So say I want to make this another side that's going to sit right under here, except the problem is it doesn't snap, so you have to really put a bit of time into positioning it. But you know, for someone that likes running around with UIs and abilities like that, you won't see that much thing. You can change the global scale quite a bit, scale it all down. There is a side effect to this, however, in that it also scales down the text. Here we go. As you can see, the text is tiny, so you can't actually scale that, and this is something I'm hoping that they will not, or keep as a separate element. The text in general should not be something that scales, because if you're focusing and you want to scale down your UI, you want to have scaling the text as a separate option so you can still read it. This is a little bit of a problem, but the only other way around that I can see is leaving this as default, which is at 1. And if you actually just go around and scale the actual specific frames, it doesn't affect the text frames and things like that. But without the snap to option, there is everything else that I can see. As you can see, there's quite a lot, and you can change it around, save it to a different file. So say, for example, I just load this one up. This is something I had here. And if we just close that there, you can see, now these were all, if you look at the position, you have to be careful of this as well. There is no filler. So we have to kind of, you know, overlap them a little bit, or just try to position them that they're just directly over. And if you do that, you can get a nice setting, nice bit of UI interface going there, and you can change quite a few things. We'll just save that next, and there you go. They look a little bit better, and you know, you can move them around. There's quite a lot of options. Something that I am looking forward to being released. I can't really put it down that much because of the amount. It's very those of you that played WoW will probably be used to things like Xpearl and other mods that came in. It's like they took quite a lot of the information from that and put it into the game. It's really nice that I can move and scale everything. And even change the position. So for example, if I wanted this to be, say, not so many slots, or if I wanted the slots per row to be a little bit less, so I can max them out. Hold on, even that up a bit. And you know, you can put them in different positions. And it's really, really nice. I'm impressed. It's something that I'm looking forward to. But that's it for this episode. As you can see, I'm only level 2. I'll have to get into the game to get back to the fleet a bit, and I can't just directly, I tried just directly jump into the fleet from this level, but apparently I have to go through some of the story, to which I will be able to go over some more of the changes and effects that have come into 1.2 that we know. Now, a lot of people know already there is a lot of operations coming in, and the biggest feature is probably going to be the legacy feature. But to do that, I don't know if I will be able to go over the legacy feature, as generally you need to reach up to level 34 in a certain part of your story to unlock it. So it's one of those things I don't know if I'll be able to look at, but we'll see if I can manage to get somewhere in the leveling on the test realm. Okay guys, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and of course I will see you next time.